All right, not too much going on in the jewelry case today. It's really empty. I don't see a whole lot to choose from, but I'm gonna keep looking. Maybe I'll find something good. All right, so now we are in the favorite section of mine, at least at this time of year. Goodwill has already started putting out their Halloween stuff, and this is really exciting and this is really fun. Now, I saw this little pumpkin-shaped birdhouse thing. I wasn't too sure what it was or if somebody made it, but I thought it was kind of interesting. And you can see that Goodwill has all kinds of little knick-knacky random things. But I do appreciate that they're starting to put the Halloween stuff out really early. Now, some of this stuff you can tell is brand new merchandise and they kind of mix it all together. I was also noticing that they had some things from previous years, maybe stores donated their Halloween merchandise. That was a funny mug. But they really had a lot. And it was kind of overwhelming because I just wasn't expecting to see this much Halloween. They actually cleared out an entire section of the store, and this is towards the front of the store. Now, when they had the Christmas in July, they just had 2 aisles full of Christmas, but they didn't make any extra space in the store like they did for the Halloween stuff. And last year, one of the workers told me that usually by September 1st, they have all of their Halloween stuff set up. And she also told me that right after Halloween on November 1st, everything switches over to Christmas. So at least now I kind of know the timeline of when they're going to start putting the holiday stuff out. And she says that some stores will even start putting Christmas up in the middle of October. So she was saying you might see a mix of Halloween and Christmas decor, being out in the stores at the same time. So here I'm just looking at the handbag section. There wasn't too much. Now, this was a weekday when I went to this particular Goodwill, and it looks like they just did not restock because a lot of the shelves and a lot of the, hanging areas like this were really empty. So I finally made it over to the regular shelves. Now, this is just the home goods section, and you can see they have all kinds of home stuff. It's usually pretty random. Some of the stuff you can see is related to Thanksgiving and fall and Halloween. But usually when I come over to these aisles, it's just kind of a mishmash of all kinds of stuff. They also do have some Christmas out, not as much as in the weeks that I've come before. They still do have Christmas, but it's just not overloaded full of Christmas like, it has been recently. Although I do appreciate some of the Christmas stuff. I just wish that it were, I guess, a little bit better organized because it just seems like everything is just kind of thrown on the shelves, but that may not be the fault of Goodwill necessarily. It could be, some of the shoppers just kind of going through stuff and then just kind of putting it back wherever. Now, some of this Halloween, or I should say Christmas stuff, was priced kind of high, even though it was Goodwill. And I think, the timing just is not good to be asking such high prices. Not that I saw anything Christmas that I wanted, but I just thought the prices were really ridiculous, and I don't really predict anybody would be buying that stuff, especially at those prices. And some of this stuff, you can get it at Walmart for either less or maybe the same price, for brand new. Now, I remember seeing that little gift box at Dollar Tree, but you can see Goodwill's now trying to sell it. Now, I know since we are moving into the fall season, there is going to be a lot of holiday stuff at Goodwill's, and I am really excited for it. When I was looking at these little baggies here on the end cap, that little glitter house or whatever it is, or church, whatever, it kind of caught my eye. And I was looking in the bag to see if there was anything else in there that I may have wanted or anything else that I may want to buy. But, you know, if there's only one thing in the bag, it has to be something really good for me to buy the entire bag. And I thought this was funny. Goodwill had this bag of plastic grapes. I think it was $12.99. And I just thought that was ridiculous because I don't even think they cost that much when they're brand new. And you can see we still have tons of Christmas stuff. And a lot of this stuff is not very good quality. I particularly like the vintage Christmas items, but finding them is pretty much hit or miss. You know, some days I get lucky, some days I don't. I was looking at that salt dough Santa ornament in the bag, but that was really the only thing in there that I wanted, and I didn't want to pay $3 just for that one thing. Now there's a little trinket box in there that I was kind of looking at, but then I think it had some damage, so I ended up leaving it behind. Now I thought this fish was kind of fun. It was like a metal fish, and I didn't know if he broke off something or if he was supposed to just kind of sit like that, but I really liked the color. This vase definitely had a vintage vibe to me, but then when I looked at the bottom, I saw it was not. And then I saw this milk glass. I think it's called hobnail vase, and I really love milk glass. Unfortunately, though, it just does not sell very well for me, so I really don't pick it up unless it's something, you know, outstanding. Now this purple mug really caught my eye just because I loved the color. It wasn't anything special, but I just thought the color was really pretty. I don't really pick up much glassware at Goodwill anymore. It doesn't sell very quickly, and sometimes it's just a pain to ship. I thought that little owl looked vintage, but again, he was not. Now I thought these were a really good find. This is a salt and pepper shaker, and you can see it's a king and queen design, and it looked brand new, and it was only $5. And so I grabbed it. Now when I did the research, I did look those up, and roughly they're selling for anywhere from about $19 up to $26, $28. More milk glass that I left behind. And look at these containers. I thought these canisters were really cute. I loved the color and the shape of them. And then there was another canister here, and it had a more modern design, but I really liked that one too. Now I thought that this little dish was a piece of depression glass, but I couldn't quite tell. The color looked like it, but then when I felt it, it just didn't feel like it was like a higher quality piece. So I wasn't really finding too much today, but it was fun looking at the shelves and seeing all the stuff. Now this also looked like another piece of depression glass, and I was wondering if it was part of a set with that other piece that I looked at earlier. You can see there just wasn't too much today. Now this was a good find. This is a Georges Briard ice bucket, and this is definitely vintage. I could tell by the signature on the bottom. However, when I ran the comps on this, they're not selling for very much, and that one was not in very good condition, so I left it behind. And stay tuned. Coming up next, we've got a jewelry haul. Okay everyone, so I don't have a whole lot of jewelry in this video, but I did want to show you what I picked up. Now I'm really excited to show you some of these because all of these were half off because it was gray tag day at Goodwill. Now these don't look that interesting. I know they look kind of boring and plain, but these are all vintage, I'm pretty sure. Now I was talking with the girl at Goodwill, like her and I were looking through all of these together, and she said, yeah, I remember my grandmother having necklaces like that. So, and it's got the, you know, screw on, I think this is called a barrel clasp. So what my plan is with these necklaces is to probably lot them up and sell them all together, because just by looking at the style of these, I'm pretty sure the same person donated them all. See, and this one has that same screw-on clasp, and these were $3.99, so they were half off, which makes them roughly about $2, but remember, I do the dollar cost averaging when I buy the jewelry. So this is another one, and I don't know where the clasp, oh, there it is. So you can see it's got that same kind of clasp, and see how they're all very similar, but they're different. So it looks like they need a little bit of cleaning as well. And then there's this one. Now this one is really different, probably more modern, telling by the clasp. But it's in the same color family, so like I said, I'll probably lot these up. Now the next two are probably not the same style. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But this one was a gray tag. You can see it was $7.99. Now let me remove the tag because the clasp was very interesting to me. And I did see a marking on here. And this is a heavy, well-made piece, and you can see it's got some of that iridescence, aurora borealis beads on it. And then these look like they're some type of marbleized, either plastic or resin with the faux pearl. I mean, this is just a really beautiful necklace. Now look at the clasp on here. You can tell that's pretty well made. Let me see what the signature is. Oh, it says Vendome. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but it's Vendome. Now that is a new to me brand, but I'm definitely going to look it up. I'm going to say that this is vintage, but it may not be. But looking at the clasp, it definitely looks like it is. Now I don't want to break this by fiddling around with it, so because I can't see where you undo it or unhook it, and I don't want to I don't want to break it trying to figure it out. Oops, and I just realized we're out of focus. So, but anyway, you can see how pretty this is. And it's really weighty too. So, Okay, so that's that one. And then the last one I got, I just like this because it was kind of fun. This looks like a leopard or a cheetah print gold tone necklace. I don't think this one is vintage at all, but it was only, you know, $2. So I just thought this was different. I've never seen a gold chain with a cheetah leopard print animal print design, so I thought that was just kind of fun and different. And that is it for the jewelry I picked up on this thrifting trip. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look up close with me. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you do so. And thank you so much for watching. I will check in with you again very soon.